The Chief Operating Officer of Racing Victoria is Bernard Saundry, and a big smile on your face. A day that I think a lot of people hope, never thought it'd come. Racing New South Wales and Racing Victoria all together, particularly on media rights.
Absolutely, Richie. This has been 8 years in the making when TVN was first born, and today's, a landmark decision for thoroughbred racing in this nation.
What does it actually mean for your state in Racing Victoria and for also us up here in New South Wales?
Well, I think it's a start of a new era where we can work together on media rights and other things generally that improve thoroughbred racing. But importantly, the aggregation model has been seen in other sports that it can leverage better returns for the participants. It can grow the profile of racing through the various digital platforms and other technologies that are evolving. And importantly, we want this to also grow ownership in the state of Victoria, as we do in New South Wales. And also on-course attendance. I think one of the important measures of the success of any sporting business is bums on seats at sporting venues, and we're no different. We've got to continue to drive activity and innovation to get people back to the track.
Does it come back to that one word, control of your own destiny?
I think control, you can make better decisions when you're in control, but hand in hand with control is developing good partnerships, and that's all part of what the new board and the new management will do going forward under the restructured TVN model.
The two governing bodies, Racing New South Wales, Racing Victoria, you've now got, I suppose, a seat at the table with the media rights, and I suppose that sits well with both states? It
works. I mean, there's a lot of hard work done behind the scenes with TVN, the clubs and the two PRAs to get today's decision where it is. And, there's been a lot of hard work done, and the results of that hard work will take time to evolve. It's not something that's just going to happen overnight. We'll have commercial operators we'll deal with. We'll have really good discussions with Sky and Tabcorp to grow thoroughbred racing in both states.
So the heads of agreement has been signed between all parties?
All parties, all the Sydney clubs, the Sydney Metro clubs, and also all the clubs in Victoria, plus the two PRAs and TVN, to develop the new model for racing.
So what's the next step in this process?
The next step is there'll be some due diligence done. Then the final agreements will be signed by the end of July. New board will be put in place, and then the activities around growing the interest and continuing to grow the interest. And what we have to remember, the TVN model that we've had has stood us in really good stead for a lot of Victorian racing and metropolitan racing. It's been able to leverage good arrangements with Sky Channel and Tabcorp, and being able to take racing to the people through the pay TV platform.
Not that it's been forgotten, but it probably hasn't been mentioned up here that I suppose without the chairman Harold Mitchell and the CEO Peter Sweeney, I don't know if TVN would be in the position that they are in today.
They've gone through, Harold and Peter and the board have gone through a hard road, 8 years of toying and making sure that thoroughbred racing does control and own its own rights for the future. And enormous amount of work's been done, and full credit to both of them on what they've done in setting up an important asset and just an important building block for the racing industry for the next 50 years.
Their job obviously is going to be restructured. You see their job as done?
Well, I think they've played an important role, and they'll be all part of that transition to the new board.
On the new board, the shareholders will have a direct representation. Is that the better model?
Well, that's what the clubs want. That's what the PRAs want, and we'll manage that to ensure we get the best outcome for racing.
Is it going to bring more dollar value, the bottom line, to both states?
Well, at the end of the day, we want to see the clubs prosper. We want to see the participants prosper through increased prize money. We want to see people go racing, and the important media rights will give us that outcome.
Do you think it'd happen?
I'm a glass half full man. I've always said it needed to happen, and I'm delighted because I was part of the early foundation of TVN. To see where it's got to today is a fantastic achievement for both states, for all the clubs in New South Wales and Victoria, and for the two PRAs.
I'll finish on, we've used the word a few times today, an historic day, a landmark day. Is that the way you see it?
It's another solid building block to what racing needs to do in order to become continually relevant in this very tough marketplace of sport and entertainment.
Does it also bring a new harmonious working relationship between both states?
I think it does. There's got to be an element of trust between the clubs and the PRAs. At the end of the day, we're all in it to grow racing and make racing more relevant and do the right thing by racing. And I think everyone in their own right does that. It just needs a coordinated approach.
Let's hope you're around. We're both around to see TVN prosper even further.
Absolutely, Richie. Appreciate your time.